Do you figure we could be living in another person's computer game? Chief of SpaceX and Tesla Motors Elon Musk supposes we presumably are. Musk says that he trusts we are likely characters in a computer game of some propelled human advancement. There's a 1 of every billion shot we're in base reality, Musk said at Recode's yearly code conference. Look down for video. He clarified that however we believe we're fragile living creature and blood members in a physical world, we are in all likelihood PC-produced elements living inside such a computer game. Along these lines, at the end of the day, it's relatively sure that we're strolling around in something amazingly like the Matrix, a PC-created reality keep running by man-made consciousness, yet we don't understand it. Vox clarifies, here's Musk's contention in full. The most grounded contention for us being in a recreation likely is the accompanying. 40 years back we had Pong. Like, two square shapes and a speck. That was what diversions were. Presently, after 40 years, we have photorealistic, 3D reenactments with a huge number of individuals playing at the same time, and it's improving each year. Before long we'll have virtual reality, expanded reality. In the event that you expect any rate of change whatsoever, at that point the amusements will wind up undefined from the real world, regardless of whether that rate of progression drops by 1,000 from what it is currently. At that point you simply say, affirm, how about we envision it's 10,000 years later on, which is nothing on the developmental scale. So given that we're obviously on a direction to have diversions that are undefined from the real world, and those amusements could be played on any set-top box or on a PC or whatever, and there would most likely be billions of such PCs or set-top boxes, it would appear to take after that the chances that we're in base the truth is 1 out of billions. Disclose to me what's the matter with that contention. Is there a blemish in the contention? This came in light of an inquiry from writer Josh Topolsky, who squeezed Musk further. The contention bodes well, Topolsky said. In any case, what do you think? There's a 1 out of billions shot we're in base reality, Musk answered. He proceeded. Ostensibly we should trust that that is valid, in light of the fact that if human advancement quits propelling, that might be because of some disastrous occasion that eradicates development. So perhaps we ought to be confident this is a reenactment, on the grounds that else we will make recreations vague from the real world or human progress stops to exist. We are probably not going to go into some multi-million-year stasis. In this answer, Musk is rehashing one of my most loved idea tests. It originates from thinker Nick Bostrom's suitably titled paper Are You in a Computer Simulation? You can read the entire thing here, yet the center is pretty much as Musk depicts it. One thing that later ages may do with their super groundbreaking PCs is run definite recreations of their ancestors or of individuals like their progenitors. Since their PCs would be so intense, they could run a considerable number of such recreations. Assume that these recreated individuals are cognizant, as they would be if their reproductions were adequately fine-grained and if a specific generally acknowledged position in the reasoning of psyche is right. At that point the reality of the situation could prove that by far most of brains like our own don't have a place with the first trace yet rather to individuals recreated by the propelled relatives of a unique race. It is then conceivable to contend that, if this were the situation, we would be objective to imagine that we are likely among the reproduced minds as opposed to among the first natural ones. Accordingly, on the off chance that we don't imagine that we are right now living in a PC recreation, we are not qualified for trust that we will have relatives who will run loads of such reenactments of their ancestors. That is the fundamental thought. The contention essentially settled down to 3 alternatives, which Wikipedia outlines along these lines. The portion of human-level developments that span a post-human organize, that is, one equipped for running high-constancy predecessor reenactments, is near zero, or the part of post-human human advancements that are keen on running precursor reenactments is near zero, or the part surprisingly with our sort of encounters that are living in a reenactment is near 1. Musk is picking the third choice here. Do you think our life is a reenactment?